Let's talk about your sense of feeling free. You had mentioned that a little bit earlier. Working on your music makes you feel really good.
Mm-hmm.
Take me on a journey through that emotion.
As in a recording process or more live performance? What would you?
Whichever one gives you more pleasure.
I guess I'm pretty crazy about the whole recording process and composing and actually, taking something that's nothing and turning it into something. That's what I find fascinating about music, is that you can have an idea and, you can write down a couple of lyrics, and then 2 weeks later you have a song that really has got a soul, and that's something you've created from nothing. I think I'm really crazy about that aspect of it.
And what does that allow you to feel?
Liberated, I guess, or something that's hidden that's being revealed, or almost like a kind of, well, without being pretentious, like some kind of prophecy. You tap in with some force, and then you're able to materialize it into something. From nothing. That's pretty much what's turning me on the most about music. And the live aspect as well is really interesting. I mean, as with Western Dream, my other project, I've done a tour in Hungary and Romania in 1996, and we did about 27 shows, and it was really like a culture clash, and it was like really an interesting experience. So when you're on stage and you're actually, spitting out your art, and you've got people that have never heard of you, and there's a kind of magic that's going on. I think that's, even it's hard to find words to describe it, but it's really a pleasant feeling,
I can only imagine.
Yes, it is.
It just sounds like you're on a whole new level, an altered state.
Exactly. I like that term.
You're listening to Frank Talks Pleasures and Lifestyles. We'll be back right after this.
From Loser to Seducer is the story of Frank B. Kermit. This book marks the triumph of a nice guy over most of his inner demons. This includes going from being a loser to managing 5 lovers at the same time, his first Valentine's date with 2 women at the same time, and getting back the one that got away. Want to learn how you can change your life? Buy this book at franktalks.com.
Frank Talks is sponsored in part by Everything Out of Her Mouth is a Test, a man's guide to the emotional needs of women. Ladies, do you want the man in your life to understand you on your level? Do you want your man to be able to listen to and address all of your emotional needs? Show him how much you really want your relationship to be the best it can be. Everything Out of Her Mouth is a Test makes a perfect gift. The book, written by a man, for men, is endorsed by every woman that reads it. This book is a guide for men to understand exactly what a woman means when she speaks. Is that worth changing your life forever? Buy this book at franktalks.com now.
Frank Talks is sponsored in part by the Calibrated Storytelling Seminar. Have you ever felt tongue-tied when talking to a woman and did not know what to say next? This seminar provides the structure to create personalized stories that connect to a woman's emotional needs. Calibration is about putting people into the categories and then modifying your behavior. Do you want to learn how to be truthful about who you are, but in an interesting and seductive way? If you want women to like you for the real you, then this seminar is for you. The Calibrated Storytelling Seminars and telephone consultations, only available at franktalks.com.
You're listening to Frank Talks Pleasures and Lifestyles, and I'm Frank because I have to be. We're in studio today with DJ Faith, who is talking to us about his lifestyle in music and being connected with alternative communities that he's performing for and the different events he does. Welcome back to studio, DJ Faith.
Thank you, Frank.
Let's talk about one of your current projects. Is there anything currently on the slate that you want to share?
Well, yes, I'm actually working on this big project called Rise of the Fallen, which is it's something I started about 2 years ago. And it's very different from Western Dream in the sense that it's more organic, it's less techno-oriented, and it's a kind of an orchestral, death metal, conceptual project.
Okay, and what can you tell me about this project? Who have you worked with? What can we expect out of it?
I'm actually working on the album called The Nest of Ten, which is based on the concept of, you know Cain in the Bible, the son of Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, actually, we learned that Cain was not really the son of Adam, and he was more like a hybrid son of an angel and Eve. And that if you permutate the letters of his name, Cain, you get something that means the nest of ten, which is a concept that teaches us that the 10 unholy emanation, everything, the roots of evil and demonic beings all come from Cain. So I'm working on an album based on that concept where we're talking about the fallen angels and we're talking about the links with evil in our modern days with the person of Cain.
All right, I have to ask you this. Where did you get the information regarding Cain's true origins?
In the apocryphal writings and the Kabbalistic manuscripts and all the studies that I did, that completes the text of the Old Testament. So it's one of the books is a very powerful book. It was written in Spain in the 1500s and it's called the Zohar. And this book really goes in depth in all the hidden messages and the hidden significance of the biblical story.
Wow, I can see where your degree in theology is coming in here.
It's a pretty interesting concept. So the album is based on that. So it's a double CD, and the first CD is called The Nest with all the original songs, and the second CD is kind of a remix and a special guest. So it's different versions of the same songs plus extra songs which have guests. So I've been working with someone that's very known who's called Edward Caspel. He's a British singer from a band called the legendary Pink Dots. And we're doing a duo on a remake of one of his songs called Hellsville. And there's a band called Adam from Italy, who are doing a remix on the song called Ensov. And there's another band called Decoded Feedback, which are more electro, that did a remix of a song called Crusade. And we're still waiting for some confirmation from other known people that are going to participate to the album. I've got great reviews from Thurston Moore, which is the frontman from Sonic Youth as well. So this project is taking a bit more of it's more like a gathering of different artists into one thing. It's pretty interesting. So I'm working very actively on that right now.
How long have you been working on this project?
For the past 2 years, we did the single that's called Citizen Cain, as in Citizen Cain, C-A-I-N. And we did a DVD with 3 different versions of that song, like reconstructed. So that was released like last year. And the album should be released within the next few months, just working very actively on it.
And what else are you trying to do with this project?
Well, we're trying to actually, make it known across the continents, and eventually go and do a conceptual tour. Like less as a circus like Western Dream, but more like like mixing like classical instruments with electrical instruments, and have this very conceptual, dark show with very theatrical, and trying to actually go and do shows elsewhere as well, but mainly pushing the album to start with,
Where would you eventually want to tour with this album?
It'd be great to commune with the old countries, so I wouldn't mind going and playing in Israel or Egypt or places that have a history that have to do with the concept of the album. So it's a bit of a dream for now, but that's something I'm looking at. It's to be able to, let's say, do something with the pyramids in the back, or go an actual archaeological spot in Israel that has to do with the biblical story, trying to be able to do that, or Greece, or, Italy. So we'll see. This is all like plans that are, in the process of being right now.
What are you still missing to complete this project?
Well, we're actually finishing the recording of the tracks, which is almost done, and then we have to do the final mix and the mastering. So that's basically what I'm missing for the album to be finished. And then, we have to do some public relations and see if there's possibilities to be invited to events and shows and, stuff like that.